How is it going, everybody? This is Sean Barnes. I want to welcome you to the Way of the Wolf. On the show today, I'm going to be talking about promotions. More specifically, I'm going to talk about why you didn't get the promotion that you wanted. Man, this topic is challenging to talk through. The reason I say it's challenging because I'm thinking through my career and all of those times when I didn't get the promotion that I wanted. I didn't get the promotion that I thought I deserved. That I worked my ass off and wasn't able to get that seat that I so desperately wanted. Promotions don't come from having tenure with the company, from working there for a long period of time. That doesn't automatically mean, hey, I've been here for 10 years, I deserve a promotion. No, it doesn't work that way. Promotions are opportunities for you to step in and grow into a leadership role or a more senior role in the organization. You accomplish getting those promotions by going above and beyond, by doing something different. If you are a data analyst and you've been with the company for a decade, doing the same thing over and over again, what makes you think that a leader is automatically going to say, hey, Sean deserves to get a promotion? He's been doing the same thing for the past 10 years. No. Now, if I were to start branching out and doing different things and making it known that I want that promotion, now that's a little bit of a different story. So on the show today, I'm going to be talking about how do you approach your senior leaders and having these conversations. How do you approach the way you handle your work and business to be able to grow into that leadership role or get that promotion that you've been so desperately wanting? The first thing that you need to think through is how to have that conversation with your supervisor. Not always easy, because it means that you're going to have to go in and sit down and lead up and express an interest and desire for more. And depending on how that supervisor views you or their team or their role, sometimes they may have some insecurities. Sometimes they may take that as you gunning for their job. That's a topic for another day. What we're going to focus on right now is how you should do the best job as possible in communicating your goals and where you want to head in the organization. Once you sit down and have that conversation, and that could be something as simple as, hey, John, I've been here for 5 years. I've been in the same role. I'm really interested in stepping into a leadership role. Can we have a conversation about it? Can we just talk through what that might look like? Even if there's not an opportunity to do it today, it is something that I'm excited about and that I want to be able to grow into. And that's all it takes for you to plant that little seed with your manager and let them know that you want more. In that conversation, it's important for you to ask for their feedback on what you can do differently, what you can do better, what courses you need to take. Are there certifications that you need to get? Is there more opportunities for exposure with the business leaders? Because if you come in with that open-ended question of what do you need from me, what can I do to get there, they may not always have the answers. So I want you to also think through what are some things that you can do differently or better. You can get some ideas around this by looking across and up in your organization, looking at different functional domains and then seeing what are the directors over there doing? What does their day-to-day lives look like? And maybe build relationships with them. Maybe go have lunch with them and pick their brain and ask them, what do their days look like on a normal basis? That will help you formulate some ideas around what those roles look like and how they differ from what you do on your day-to-day tasks. I also want you to look inward. I want you to start reflecting and asking yourself, are you really going above and beyond? Or are you just coasting because you've been doing the same thing for 5 years, for 10 years? If you're able to get all your work done and knocked out in 35 hours, 38 hours, maybe it's a full 40 hours, but you're kind of coasting. If you're honest with yourself, that may be a very real aspect of where you're at. It's easy to become complacent when you get really proficient at what you do and really comfortable in your role. And if you're just coasting, don't expect to be handed a promotion. You've got to go above and beyond. That's what it takes. You've got to go above and beyond, and you've got to figure out what it looks like to go above and beyond and start solving problems outside of your scope of responsibilities. Start showcasing to the rest of the business, beyond just your supervisor, what you can do and the value that you provide. Solve problems that aren't yours to solve. Another thing that I want to touch on is patience. Man, that's tough. I am not a patient person. And I think through all the promotions that I have received throughout my career over the last 20 years, and I can promise you that I wanted the role much sooner than it actually occurred. In recent years, I've come to realize the importance of patience and loving the process, not the destination. I know it's easy for you to say, hey, Sean, that's easy for you to say. You've accomplished these things. Yeah, I have, but I've lost countless hours of sleep. I've struggled. I've worked crazy, insane hours, and I've made a lot of mistakes along the way. Also, don't compare yourself to others. Just because you look across the business and see somebody in a different area, and they might have a bigger title, maybe a bigger salary, but they're an idiot. We've all experienced that. We've all lived it. Comparing yourself to them doesn't do anybody any good. What that does is put you in a negative mindset where you're more frustrated and focused on complaining about why aren't you there? Why is that person there and you're not? Instead of focusing on yourself and your team. Make sure you're investing energy in your team and helping your team achieve success. When you start doing that, when you start taking that approach to leading your team while not being in a leadership role, that's when the growth starts to occur. I've seen this a lot. People end up doing the job before they actually have the title, before they're actually getting paid for it. Because when promotions do come available or positions are opened up, senior leaders are immediately going to go to, who's doing the job today? Oh, well, that's interesting. When this manager left and went over to a different group and we didn't fill that position or backfill that position, Sean stepped up and he just started doing it, even though we weren't paying him, even though we weren't giving him that big title. He still stepped up and started filling the role. Well, that's an easy decision to make. Let's put Sean in the role. So start thinking through, one, how to have the conversation with your supervisor. Two, be honest with yourself and ask, are you coasting or Are you going above and beyond? And 3, start branching out. Start building your network. Start learning more about other executives in the organization and their challenges and solving their problems for them. So that's 3 quick tips that I want all of you to focus on when it comes to looking for that promotion or trying to get to that next level in your career. In closing, one thing that I would like to ask and point out is there are no ads on this channel or show. There never will be. No fees, no hidden agenda, anything like that. What I would ask is if you found value in this episode or any of the others, please like it, leave reviews, share it with friends and family. That's how we're able to grow the channel and the show. It would mean the world to me and make it much more beneficial for all the people that we're able to touch and help them grow in their careers and in life. Thank you so much, and y'all have a good one.